What I'm gonna speak on is the thing that's on my mind the most. You know what I'm saying? The thing that we all gotta deal with every day, but don't really know. The industry. The industry. Man, it's not the same. Doesn't have to do with talent. It's about playing the game. The industry. Real niggas is dying to get in. The industry. Just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that. But I'm going to dress like this and talk with the back.
What I'm going to speak on is the thing that's my mind. The most you know what I'm saying, the thing that we all got to deal with every day, but don't really know the applause. Industry, the industry, man, it's not the same, doesn't have to do with talent. It's about playing the game, the industry real. __ is dying to get in the industry. Justify they don't fit in the industry ain't what it used to be. The industry is trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that, but I'm going to dress like this and talk with the bat. All right, buckle up, folks. We're diving into some serious tea about DMX and Diddy's parties. If you thought you knew what went down at those shindigs, think again, 'cause DMX had some warnings for us all. And just when you thought it couldn't get any juicier, we're about to uncover some secrets about Diddy and his relationship with minors. So grab your snacks and get ready for a wild ride through the world of hip-hop drama. All right, let's break down DMX's backstory. In simpler terms, born on December 18th, 1970 in Mount Vernon, New York, DMX didn't have it easy from the start. His parents, Arnett Simmons and Joe Barker, were young and struggling to make ends meet. He grew up with his older sister Bonita and later Shayla, but sadly 2 of his brothers were stillborn. Life at home wasn't a walk in the park either. DMX faced violence from his mom and struggled with bronchial asthma. He started out as a Jehovah's Witness, but after a rough accident, he ditched that path. At just 5 years old, his mom sent him to live with relatives in Yonkers to escape the chaos. But things didn't get easier. By the time he hit 10, he'd already been kicked out of middle school and was living in a group home. His mom's beatings were so severe that she knocked out 2 of his teeth with a broomstick at 15. He was back in Yonkers, basically homeless, crashing wherever he could find shelter, and running with stray dogs. School wasn't his thing either. With bad grades, he couldn't stick with the track and field team. So he resorted to desperate measures like robbing classmates for basic necessities. It was rough out there. And he even started jacking cars just to get by. Tough times for the young DMX. But little did he know, he was on his way to becoming a legend in the rap game. All right, let's rewind back to the 80s and early 90s, where DMX's story really begins. Back in 1985, he kicked off his career beatboxing for a local rapper named Reddy Ron, you mean? And I'm this guy, Reddy Ron, you mean? He was like an older brother to me. And he would rap and I would do the beatbox. They'd hit up small gigs together. But soon enough, DMX wanted his time in the spotlight. So he switched gears and started rapping himself, adopting the name DMX, which stood for Divine Master of the Unknown, at first, later changing it to Darkman X. But life wasn't all smooth sailing. After a stint in prison for carjacking, DMX dove headfirst into writing lyrics and battling other inmates. He even crafted his own unique style called Spellbound, where he spelled out each word letter by letter. Fast forward to the early 90s and DMX was making waves with freestyles on the Stretch Armstrong and Bobo show, earning himself props in the Source unsigned hype column. By 92, he caught the attention of Rough Riders Entertainment and Columbia Records. But his debut single didn't quite hit the mark. He went solo and faced some flirtations with Death Row Records in 94. But things didn't pan out. Suge Knight had big plans for a hip-hop dream team, but negotiations fell through, possibly due to concerns about their artists getting overshadowed on the West Coast. There were even talks of DMX joining Death Row again in 95, but a meeting between him and Tupac never materialized. DMX later threw some shade at Tupac, but who knows what could have happened if that meeting had gone down. And I even heard they was trying to sign DMX. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't remember that specifically, but I'm pretty sure of that because when X was before he signed to Def Jam, when he was on the market, pretty much everybody wanted to sign him, like the whole industry. Really, it's a wild ride through the nines music scene. And DMX's journey is just getting started, so buckle up, folks, because we're diving deeper into his rise to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s. All right, let's rewind to the late 90s, where DMX was making moves in the music industry. After grinding for 2 years, his buddy Irv Gotti landed a sweet gig as the president of A&R at Def Jam Recordings. Thanks to a showcase for the big boss, Lyrico, and DMX scored a deal with Jam. In May 1997, fast forward to 98Z0, and DMX was on fire. He spent months in the studio cooking up tracks for his debut album, while making waves with killer features on tracks like Moss' 24 Hairs to Live and LL Cool J's 4321. Then, in February 98, he dropped his first major label single, Get At Me Dog, which went gold. In no time, his debut album, It's Dark and Hell Is Hot, hit shelves in May 1998, featuring the smash hit Roo Riders anthem. It shot straight to #1 on the Billboard 200, selling over 5 million copies. Plus, who could forget his legendary performance at Woodstock, rocking out in front of a crowd of over 300,000 people? I don't hear you, I don't hear you, I don't hear you, my go. And here we go. First we had a baby Mize Gosco. And we go first, we applause. Music. Applause had, but DMX didn't stop there. In December 98, he followed up with Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, also debuting at #1 and going multi-platinum. He even made history as the only rapper at the time to have his first 2 consecutive #1 Billboard 200 albums within a year. Then, on December 21st, 1999, he dropped his 3rd album. And then there was X, which, you guessed it, debuted at #1 too. The standout single Party Up in Here dominated the charts and earned him a Grammy nod. The album went 6 times platinum and got nominated for Best Rap Album at the 2001 Grammy Awards. And DMX wasn't just killing it in the studio. In 2000, he made a cameo in the Sum 41 music video for Makes No Difference and hit the road for the Anger Management Tour, sharing the stage with heavy hitters like Limp Bizkit and Godsmack. All right, let's dive into the early 2000s, when DMX was still blazing trails in the music scene. After sorting out some legal stuff, he hit the studio for his 4th album, The Great Depression, which dropped on October 23, 2001. It was another #1 debut on the Billboard 200 for him, featuring hits like Who We Be and We Right Here. But it didn't quite reach the heights of his previous work. In September 2003, DMX kept the hits coming with Grand Champ, his 5th album. Once again, it snagged the top spot on the Billboard 200. This album, packed with bangers like Where the Hood At and Get It on the Floor, marked the end of an era, as it was his final release during his lifetime. He even declared his retirement after its release. But DMX wasn't done just yet. After some back and forth with Jam, he made a bold move in January 2006. He signed with Columbia Records, Def Jam's former parent company. This switch led to his 6th album, Year of the Dog, again hitting the shelves on August 1st, 2006. While it debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200, it still made waves with singles like Lord Give Me a Sign and We in Hair. In the following years, Jam kept DMX's legacy alive with compilation albums like The Definition of X, The Pick of the Litter in June 2008, and The Best of DMX in 2011. During this time, DMX even explored preaching and dipped his toes into gospel music before facing some legal troubles. But DMX wasn't one to stay quiet for too long. On October 11, 2011, he made a memorable appearance at the BET Hip Hop Awards, teasing his 7th album, Undisputed, after some delays, the album finally hit the shelves on September 11, 2012, with some killer production from Swizz Beatz and J.R. Swizz Beatz even hinted at some heavy hitters like Kanye West and Dr. being involved in DMX's 8th album, plus his iconic track X Gone. Give It To You found new life in the film Deadpool in 2016. Then on June 28, 2016, DMX blessed fans with a new track Blood Red, followed by another one titled Bane Is Back in January 2017, produced by Swizz Beatz. And on September 20, 2019, he made a triumphant return to D-Jam Recordings, signing a fresh deal. Finally, DMX's 8th and posthumous studio album Exodus dropped on May 28, 2021 through Def Jam, keeping his legacy alive for generations to come. Alright, let's dive into the intriguing tale of Murder Inc., a hip-hop supergroup that had the potential to shake up the scene, but was cut short by internal tensions. Back in '95, Irv Gotti had this grand vision of bringing together some heavy hitters from the East Coast. Jay-Z, DMX, and J-Roll. Their journey officially began with Mick Jonas' Time to Build, and later they teamed up for Murder Graham in Streets as Watching. But despite their undeniable talent, the group's journey was riddled with friction, especially between Jay-Z and DMX. Jay and DMX battled for hours and guns was pulled out. And it was very tense. But it was real hip-hop, nothing happened. And we all kind of had admiration for each other, 'cause we had equal amount of respect. Ended up being a tie. They said they won, we said we won. But it wasn't no clear-cut winner. I still won, but my love learned that during that battle, what I'm saying, I drove away from Baltimore. That battle, according to VV Gotti, things got heated between Jay-Z and DMX during a legendary rap battle, where guns were even drawn. The roots of their feud can be traced back to that moment, with DMX feeling like he didn't get his due credit. Ja Rule chimed in, highlighting the challenge of getting Jay-Z and DMX in the same room. Due to their past history, the tension only escalated post-breakup, with